Hey comic lovers, we were all anticipating the making of Batgirl, only to hear painfully that Warner Brothers has cancelled the movie. What is the latest on Batgirl, and would the directors still like to work with DC again? And did you know there was once a black Batgirl, or have you forgotten? Don't worry, we bring you all the latest inside news on the DC franchise Batgirl. First up, Batgirl's directors' reaction to DC cancellation. The directors of Batgirl reflect on the painful, unprecedented cancellation. Adil El Arbi and Bilal Fallah, the directors of Batgirl, are still prepared to collaborate with Warner Brothers. Following the surprising cancellation of their DC film Batgirl, the cancellation of Warner Brothers' Batgirl by Discovery is one of the year's major news in the entertainment business. Directors Adil El Arbi and Bilal Fallah have expressed hope that fans will be able to view the film, starring Leslie Grace in the title role, someday in some way. However, Fallah told Deadline that the event was a painful experience at the Red Sea International Film Festival, where the team screened their new film Rebel. It was unprecedented at the time, so it was like cinematic history, but in a wild sense. El Arbi pondered for the site. He said that there's nothing we can do to persuade WB Discovery to release the picture. At the same time, he hypothesized that the current success of Brendan Fraser, who played the film's villain, could help Batgirl's reputation. Nonetheless, he noted, should it maybe be released, there's still a lot of work to be done, and I'm not sure if they're going to go back for that. The directors revealed in a separate interview with The Hollywood Reporter that they couldn't attend the funeral screenings for Batgirl since they were in Belgium. That version wasn't even the most recent cut, and they weren't even that far into the process. We still needed additional photography. There were a lot of sequences missing, and the VFX wasn't there, El Arbi explained. He doubted the studio would ever want to complete the project, saying, "Sometimes we think but sometimes it's like, maybe." Next up, what was the reaction to the cancellation? The amount of support we received was incredible, Fallah told THR. There was so much support from people in the industry, and it felt like all the artists were backing us, which is a beautiful feeling because you don't feel alone. One of those backers was James Gunn, who hasn't met with the duo formally since becoming DC's CEO. Although the meetings are in the books, El Arbi hinted, "You've got to imagine we're two fanboys, and for 1 second, we were in the Batman universe, following in the footsteps of Zack Snyder and Christopher Nolan, and then it was just like we woke up and it was a dream," El Arbi stated. In a pitch for the duo to direct a big-screen Batman Beyond, and Fallah indicated that they would be willing to collaborate with the studio again, but only if the movie comes out. He fairly properly demanded, "I mean, if Warner asks, would you like to do the next Batman or Superman? Of course we will say yes, just as long as the film is released." Next up, we should not forget DC's Black Batgirl. There can be more than one Batgirl, and the success of DC's first Black Batgirl shows that the role isn't exclusive to any actress. The first Black superhero to don the Batgirl costume has earned her spot in DC's Bat family. The Bat family consists of female vigilantes, Batgirls, and male counterparts Robins from a wide range of backgrounds, and is often considered to be the most recognizable superhero family of all time. For a long time, though, they shared a common characteristics. They were all orphans of European heritage. Cassandra Cain was a game-changer since she was the first person of color to be introduced into the Bat family and the first Batgirl to have her solo comic series. More than a decade later, in the New 52, the Bat family expanded to include fan favorites like Signal and Batwing. Tiffany Fox, younger sister of Luke Fox aka Batwing, and future state's Batman Jace donned the Bat cowl and trained under Barbara Gordon in League of Batgirls, joining veteran Batgirls Stephanie Brown and Cassandra Cain. Some viewers were pleased to see a new Batgirl, while others were dissatisfied that Tiffany was underutilized. Tiffany wasn't the first Black woman to don the Batgirl costume, which surprised no one, to a Stephanie Brown devotee and one of her students. In Batgirl issue Volume 3 and issue number 24 by Brian Q. Miller and Perry Perez, Batgirl Stephanie Brown was introduced when this issue begins, Stephanie has just learned that her father, Arthur Brown, nicknamed the criminal Clue Master, is still alive. Batgirl is infected with Black Mercy spores because Clue Master has taken up gardening to pass the time in prison. In one of her hallucinogenic dreams, Stephanie visits a possible future in which she becomes the new Nightwing and fights alongside her own Batgirl, an adult version of Nell Little, one of Batgirl's biggest supporters. So, why is Batgirl a motivation for diversity? Throughout Steph's Batgirl series, Nell Little shows up as a supporter of the hero occasionally. Regardless of how dire things look, Nell is confident that Batgirl will emerge victorious. Nell shares the Robins' fate in the Bat as a symbol of becoming a Robin. Despite Batman's reputation as a villain, the rest of the Bat family serve as positive role models in the city of Gotham. Nell, like Stephanie, is an upbeat and determined person. If Stephanie can imagine a future where Nell is her Batgirl, she must share these attributes. Dozens of forgotten DC Comics characters, such as Tiffany Fox and Nell, future Batgirls, and We Are Robin members require revivals. This cast has a lot of unrealized promises. Perhaps the first Black Batgirl will enter the main timeline in another DC reboot. In other related news, Batgirl's previous experiences with the Suicide Squad. Batgirl has assembled a team led by Harley Quinn, Black Canary, Frankenstein, and a vampiric Damian Wayne to assassinate the person she loves more than anybody else. If Nightwing were to fall, it would be improbable that the vampires could escape Gotham alive. Hence, the name Suicide Squad is apt. Even when the sun is obscured and the undead rule, Barbara Gordon proves nothing can stop her from helping the world as an influential hero. Batgirl's history with the Suicide Squad is lost on Punchline, but she makes an intriguing point nonetheless. Since everyone else has deserted the Suicide Squad, Batgirl has been elevated from her former tech and information support role to that of squad leader. Next up, Batgirl's role in the new Suicide Squad is different than it was before. Batgirl has been elevated to the position of Suicide Squad leader. When zombies overrun the DC universe, Barbara's resurrection as the Oracle takes on new significance. Batgirl has been on dozens of teams during her career, from the Bat Family to the Birds of Prey, but few people knew that she was also on the Suicide Squad. Based on a passing remark made in Punchline, Babs is again assuming this obscure post, this time as the head of the squad in its extreme third and final form. While Babs had the title of Oracle, she served as the epicenter of knowledge for the DC multiverse. Oracle was the go-to guy for info and ruthlessly efficient team organization. Barbara Gordon was a vital cog in every team's wheel, from the Seven Soldiers of Fortune to the Justice League. During this global zombie apocalypse, Diana became one of the DC's most prominent heroes, seeking her ex-lover Nightwing, now the king of vampires. With Alan Moore and Brian Bolland's The Killing Joke came out, former Batgirl Barbara Gordon disappeared from comics for a while. Barbara Gordon returned to the team in issue 38 of The Suicide Squad 1987 by John Ostrander, Robert Greenberger, and Luke McDonnell. Oracle, the nameless benefactor who had helped the squad and whose identity had been kept secret even from Amanda Waller, was revealed to be none other than Barbara Gordon. This was a significant surprise, not only in terms of immediate impact, but also in terms of what it implied about her personality. It was all thanks to this reveal in Suicide Squad that Babs went from being largely ignored by DC to becoming one of the most influential and important heroes in the DC universe. In other related news, what can we expect from Batgirl and Suicide Squad? The public may have forgotten that Babs was ever a member of the Suicide Squad, but it appears that Punchline hasn't. While infiltrating Gotham to eliminate Dick Grayson, Barbara Gordon and her ragtag band are dubbed the new Suicide Squad by Punchline in DC vs. Vampires number 10 by James Tynion IV, Matthew Rosenberg, and Otto Schmidt. Throughout DC vs. Vampires, it has become clear that Nightwing is the true ruler of the undead and a ruthless assassin. Barbara Gordon and Nightwing face off in a showdown that could determine the fate of the planet, and the infiltration of Gotham rests on a reference to her rebirth as the tech prodigy Oracle. Unfortunately, guys, that is all the time we have for today. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Till next time, cheers!